to music stardom traditionally has begun here, in countless honky-tonks and neighborhood bars around the world. They play night after night, hoping to be discovered. It's a tough, dirty way to make it, and only a few ever get to become a star. Yes, you know it's true. But many of today's hot artists have reached stardom a different way.
I think we're seeing a whole new generation of artists who are not really live performing artists, who really literally make their records, make their video, and then are confronted with having to go out and somehow be a performing artist.
Ed Shockey has been a rock and roll disc jockey for the past 22 years. He has seen many bands come and go.
They've taken to using machines, and that is, in addition to tapes, these new kind of things called MIDIs, which in fact are synthesizers. They sample their own voice, and then they can play instruments or play sounds that sound like their voice, but actually being produced by machines. So it's a very fine line between trying to recreate what you've done in the studio and in fact kind of fooling the audience by producing a show that you're not really capable of doing by yourself.
We have Madonna in Houston. We have Janet Jackson in Sacramento. We have Tina Turner in Turin.
Roy Clare owns one of the largest professional sound companies in the country, and he handles up to 50 top bands on tour a year. It's his job to make recording artists sound as good live as they do in the studio or on video.
You see, if an artist wants to, if he wants to lip sync, they bring their own equipment along to do that, you see. The sound company would not be involved in that.
Never gonna stop.
But when you are out on the road and you've set up your 60-foot towers of speakers to do a live show, and you're handed a tape to play under the show.
Well, that's true. You know, we really don't have an option. I mean, we just don't have that option.
And which artists are believed to be faking live concerts?
We've heard of Milli Vanilli, New Kids on the Block, artists like that. Paula Abdul and Janet Jackson, performers, and Madonna, in fact.
So, what's more important to today's young concert goers? Do they come to see new artists for the show or to hear the music? Does the fact that some live shows are lip-synced bother them? Hard Copy caught up with fans of Milli Vanilli after a recent concert in Philadelphia.
Because you come to see it live and you see the people and all, and then it's not all down the tape. I thought some of it was a little lip-synced, like in some parts, some of it was lip-synced. I mean, it's true. If it was taped, it would still sounded great. You know, if they don't sound that good in person, oh well.
1950.
They should have charged them $10 to see that.
Why? Why was it so bad?
I mean, that's, you can see it's a fake show.
If you're good in your life, if you're successful, then you're going to have people who criticize you.
There's a famous story about Milli Vanilli. Supposedly, their tape died. They left the stage and they came back. You know, they were in their dressing room and then the vocals started again.
Milli Vanilli refused to grant Hard Copy an interview to discuss their suspect concert techniques. And are the people responsible for producing highly polished record albums and videos concerned about the impact on live concerts?
The video world certainly sets a standard that artists have to live up to.
My job is to make a great record, and I really, to be honest with you, don't have any concern about whether, you know, what you have to do to recreate it live or whether you even want to try.
But try they do, and as long as the video generation is willing to pay to see their favorite artists perform, some artists will continue to try and give the audience the look and the sound they are most familiar with, at any cost, including faking the old-fashioned blood, sweat, and tears of rock and roll.
Don't leave me alone.
Now, most people think lip syncing has become so popular because the artists want to duplicate what they did in the recording studio. Well, that's not entirely true. Many top stars can't do it in the studio either. They depend on super sophisticated equipment to keep them on key and to make the music they can. In other words, you don't have to be able to sing or play an instrument to be a rock star.
Next on Hard Copy, these criminals can run.